Hello and welcome to the technical video Enrollment Bundles. What are they and how to use them? I'm Jack Slevsky, Senior Sales Engineer with Opengear, and I'm here to demonstrate the use of enrollment bundles when adding appliances into Lighthouse. This video is a follow-on to one I made previously called How to Enroll an Opengear Node into Lighthouse. For the purposes of this video, I'll assume that you have access to Lighthouse software and an Opengear node and are familiar with the basic navigation of the GUIs. Also, it's important that you already know how to perform a basic global enrollment. If not, I recommend that you see my previous video on the subject. So, what is an enrollment bundle? The word bundle gives a clue to its function. As well as enrolling the node, the tool bundles together several configuration features that are applied to the node. This will include things like searchable tags, configuration script templates, user groups and accounts, authentication templates, as well as sophisticated NetOps modules. There's a lot to enroll in bundles, but the simplest way to understand their utility is to run through an example. Let's begin by setting up a new enrollment bundle in Lighthouse. In this example, I will create a bundle that will include, number one, a searchable tag for the nodes enrolled with this bundle. Number two, a simple config script to change the node's message of the day to something a little more humorous. And number three, an authentication template for accessing a TACAC server and some operator groups and users. In Lighthouse's GUI, I'll expand the Configure menu, and then the Node Enrollment submenu, and finally select Enrollment Bundles. A new page opens showing the bundles I previously created on the system. I have two bundles that were created to add nodes and assign them to two regions, Eastern and Central. I will now add a Western region bundle as well. At the top left of the page, there's the Add Enrollment Bundle icon. I'll click on that, and I'll add a new enrollment bundle. An enrollment bundle form is presented with several fields. The first is for the bundle's name. Here I will enter Lab West. Below the name is the token field. As I mentioned in my previous video, this token is the password used by Opengear Appliance when it requests enrollment into Lighthouse, but in this case using a bundle. I'll enter Smart OOB, but you can use something much more complex. Below the token field, there's a checkbox labeled Auto Approve Node. If this box is checked, a node requesting enrollment through this bundle will automatically be accepted into Lighthouse. However, if left unchecked, Lighthouse will mark the request as pending. This will let you vet the request and authorize or deny the enrollment of the node. It's a good security feature and can be used to make sure that other mistakes were not made when the enrollment was requested. I will leave it unchecked. Next is a field entitled Subscription Selection. This deals with the type of Lighthouse license the organization purchased. For most users, this field can be ignored. In some cases, customers may have two different licenses on the same Lighthouse system. If so, you must decide which license will manage the nodes of this bundle. If you can't change the value, then you can simply ignore it, as is the case in my environment. Next, we can assign tags to this bundle. Tags are given to the nodes to help in searching for them using Lighthouse's Smart Filters feature. For the purposes of this video, a series of tags, including a Western region tag, were created in advance using the Edit Tags function in the menu on the left. To assign the tag, I'll go to the Select Tag drop-down menu and choose the Regions tag. And in the Select Value menu, I will select Western. If this bundle requires multiple tags for these nodes, you can click on the plus Add Tag button and another field will be presented. Note that to the right of the fields is a delete button. Click on that if you want to remove this. Finally, we have the Templates and NetOps modules sections. Here we can assign multiple configuration scripts or automation modules to be downloaded to the nodes enrolled with this bundle. Clicking on the Add icon, a template menu is presented from which I can assign the various script types. I'll start with a simple script I prepared in advance that will change the node's MOTD, or message of the day, to a humorous message about the authorized admins and operators of these nodes. Also, I will include an authentication template providing the node details of my TACACS server. And finally, a user groups template, which will give the node the ability to restrict access to the authorized users, Larry, his brother Daryl, and his other brother Daryl. Once everything has been entered and verified, click on the Apply button to save the bundle to the list. We can now enroll nodes into Lighthouse using this bundle. But before I go to node, I'll take note of my Lighthouse's IP address, as I'll need it in the next step. Now I'm going to go to the node that we'll be enrolling with using this bundle. Note that the login page is showing the default security banner or message of the day. Also, this unit only has a default root account and no access to external authentication. So I'm going to use this account to log in. In the left-hand column menu, I'll expand the Configure submenu, then select the Lighthouse enrollment item, which will present the enrollment page. On the far right is an Add Lighthouse Enrollment icon. Click on that. And a new page is presented with 4 fields. 3 of them are mandatory. In the first page, I'll enter the IP address that I copied from the Lighthouse URL. I'm going to leave the port number blank, which assumes we'll be using the default value of 443. In most cases, this is appropriate. However, Lighthouse enrollment can be achieved using our other port values, but that discussion is beyond the scope of this video. If you are using another port value, you must enter it here. The next 2 fields are the bundle name and the token we just entered in the previous steps. I'll enter the name Lab West and the token Smart OOB. Everything looks good, so I'll click Apply. This will launch the enrollment process. We're almost done. Let's go back to the Lighthouse GUI and refresh the dashboard screen. The enrollment request was received by Lighthouse, and the current node status ring has a small yellow arc with the word pending next to it. This indicates that Lighthouse is waiting for me to approve the enrollment of a new node. I'll click on the yellow arc and go to the pending nodes page. As shown in the previous video, this is where the request is verified and approval granted if everything is correct. If something is wrong, I can delete the request, or if everything is as it should be, I can accept it. Everything looks good, so I will authorize the request. Now let's go back to the dashboard and await completion of the enrollment. You may have to refresh the screen a few times, but once the node is enrolled, the yellow arc is removed and the node is added to the bottom of the list. Before we end this video, I just want to remind you that the bundle created for this exercise did more than just enroll the node. It assigned a tag for smart filtering, it downloaded a script to change the node's message of the day, and set the unit up for authentication so that Larry and his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl can gain access to it with various levels of responsibility. Going back to the login page of the node, we can see that the message of the day banner has been changed, indicating that Larry and his brothers are responsible for the node. Now let's check the authentication by logging in as Larry's other brother Daryl. Now that he's logged in, we can see that Daryl has an operator's role, and he's restricted to ports 6 through 10 as assigned by his user group. I hope that you found this helpful. Please come back and visit our library of technical instruction videos for other useful configuration tips and tricks. I'm Jack Zalewski, Senior Sales Engineer for Opengear. Thank you for your interest in the Opengear solution.